Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Homeless Surfer channel. This is Destry Wade, your MC of the Homeless Surfer channel, and the Homeless Surfer himself. So, had a couple days I had to take off. Wasn't feeling good. This whole health thing sucks. Getting older is no fun. I'm going to ask God that, though, dude. When I die, my first question would be, why could we just be like 19 or 21 years old physically, but yet we gain the growth mentally and emotionally? That would be so cool. I don't know why I didn't do it like that. Why we got to disintegrate to shit. Because definitely we do. It's crazy. I mean, and I'm still pretty healthy considering my lifestyle. But 61, I guess some people say, oh, you're supposed to live to 100 or whatever. I don't, dude, if I got to 80, that'd be fine. That's enough. Enough's enough. I've been here, I've seen it. It's time to go on somewhere else, move forward. But I'll hang in there till I do. Um, and deal with the pain. Because one guy on YouTube said to me, he goes, or was saying, you got to be tough to get old. That ain't no bullshit, dude. I mean, getting in a fight when I was in high school or junior high school was nothing compared to how I feel when waking up the next morning. Excuse me, is nothing compared to the way I feel when I wake up every damn day. It's like, oh, the legs don't want to work right. The lungs are filled up with crap from all those years of smoking and still smoking, so that's not helping. But you know, unreal. So I would really love to know that from God. I'm sure most of you that are my demo. See, I'm gonna call my fans my demo. You're my demo, dude. All right, I got my demo with me. That's the people. That's us. Everybody over my demo is 35 plus. I don't got a lot of relationships with people because 35 years old, that's my kid. My oldest son's 35. So that's weird to me to think he's in my demo because he doesn't listen to me still. He'll bring when he listens to me, it's because he asked me that for the help. When I voluntarily tell him something like, "Hey, probably shouldn't do it like that. Maybe look at a different angle." Nah, that ain't going nowhere. I might as well just talk to the walls. Same with my daughter's worse. I mean, you got to just straight talk to you should just straight talk to the wall because you ain't going through nowhere. And this is everybody. There is nobody alive that person is going. My daughter is going to listen to. But being a parent, right? Take the good with the bad. They're beautiful. I love them both. And I love my grandkids. But so anyway, getting started on this thing, crazy couple days going on, dropping bombs all over the world. It's wow. Can't wait till this part ends. Um, just so much going on, and so much contention. Over ridiculous things. We're arguing and debating and fighting, and it's getting violent. Um, I don't know. It scares me a little bit. It makes me nervous. Um, because of what I've seen, what I know, what I've been taught, what I've learned, um, experiences in life. It's strange to me that I spent my whole life saying that this is it. Life is what you get. Enjoy it, go after it, do whatever you want, because this is it. Once you die, you're just worm bait. There's no judgment. There's no afterlife. There's none of that crap. It's just life. So live it, push it, live it hard. Don't go to prison though. That takes away from it. So, it's don't take away from it. Don't take away from your life. Um, I want to. I just don't. I guess I'm lost in thought of what's happening around us and how foretold it was. Because keep in mind, I rebelled against religion a long time ago. Didn't want nothing to do with it. Didn't. I just thought it was a social contamination. It's not something that I wanted to hear. Didn't care about it. Sure as hell wasn't going to do what they said. I wouldn't do what nobody said. I do what I say, when I say. And unfortunately, that lifestyle, that life mentality, which is, I can give myself this, I held true. I didn't give back. I stayed true to my bullshit. Okay. And that's what it proved out to be in the long run. Mostly just bullshit. Because as I've gotten older, the realities of what's going on around me is far more real than I would have ever known. Yes, I'm going to bear my testimony a little bit today and just kind of let you know who the hell I am. I was born a Mormon kid in Southern California on a beach. I don't got much to complain about. And people in my group, people, my friends that grew up with me that got complaints, I want to knock them upside the fucking head. What do you got to complain about, fool? You know, when you start feeling life is hard on you, you know, when I got first time I went and slept on a street bench, you know, in my life seemed pretty hard. Oh, they're just picking on me. No, why don't you take a minute to go over to like other countries, other places around the world that ain't us, that they're dying to get here. They're climbing fences to get here. You know, they're trespassing just to come where I live. And then they want to, and then it gets where everyone wants to start complaining about where we live. Let's not do that anymore. You know, let's not. We got it easy. You were born in America in the 21st century at the end of time. You know, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff happening around. And I don't know if you consider it cool. It's brutal. It's brutal. But you got to understand something. Your maker created you. He can take you out. I used to hear that from parents all my life, raising my children. I bore that kid, I could take him out. In some cases, it might have been the best option. But we're not allowed to do that. And we don't want to do that because everybody grows. Everything grows. We're still growing. You know, the earth is still growing. It's not changed. It's changing. Of course, it's changing. But don't get alarmed by it. When it decides it doesn't want us here, it'll just cut it off. I live on the beach. One 12-foot, or 100-foot wave covers the entire San Diego County. We're done. And that can happen in 1 second. So don't get all tripped out. Or the big one. You always got the big one coming. I've had the big one since I was a kid. But in real sense, I don't know if you caught that joke. Anyway, the big one's coming. You know, when I was a little kid, I first saw Earthquake in 1976 or some crap like that. The Charlton Heston one, I think it was. I don't know. But it scared the shit out of me. And I spent like literally months and months after that scared to death. And then on top of that, the same year, they throw out Jaws. Why do they got to throw out Jaws? Yeah, man, Jaws was horrible for me. I used to, after I saw that movie, I used to sit on my board and look under my feet, making sure that no sharks were coming. Seriously, I got nervous, man. It was almost a point where I just didn't go in the ocean. And then my mom, who's also a surfer, and my grandfather, who's also a surfer, says, "Don't worry, they're here every day, and they have been for century or forever, and they're not going anywhere. And they allow you in their home. You know, they don't like the shoreline typically. So my grandpa said, if it's going to happen, he taught me a good lesson. If a shark's going to eat you, he's going to eat you. There's nothing you can do about it. Forget about him. Same with the earthquake. If the earthquake's going to come and knock everything down, so be it. Sitting around worrying about it doesn't make it not happen, and doesn't make you any easier for your life to live. So, you know, being raised an LDS kid, I really just couldn't get it. And there's things that I don't want to say anything about anybody, because the bottom line is there's truth there. And if you seek it, you'll find it. But you got to go seek it. It doesn't just fall out of the sky on you. God has a lot to do, and he didn't have to. He's not the parent to waste time talking to the kid that ain't listening. Okay, he's not going to do it. When you're ready to talk to him, and you want to be healed from all your bullshit, and trust me, I'm the king of bullshit. You know, God, dude, every sin you could think of other than actually pulling a trigger and killing somebody, I've committed over and over again. But I've also repented one time for real. Hundreds of times in my life, I said, "Oh, I'm sorry for that. Can I get a break and stay at your house now?" You know, that kind of shit. No. Repentance is painful, and repentance is where my journey started, because I had that damn heart attack, and they put me in a coma for 6 months. And you know what happened? I left my body. I had a transdental. I think they call it see, I don't even know all this shit. Whatever. I was out of my body. I was standing above it. I wasn't in it. It wasn't part of me. It was just this thing that was left behind. And I can tell you, as a guy getting older, yeah, I can see that. It's just going to wear out and die anyway. So live right. God, quit doubting what you know, because there's nobody that doesn't know it. It was put in you when you were created. So you know there's a God. And if you've been saying fuck God and fuck church and fuck that stuff, okay, I get it. I've been there. But you know what? At some point, you got to get over that anger. You got to look to the sky, and you got to ask your Father in heaven to bring you the peace that is available to you. But you can't find that information if we're not on the right channel. You got to get the right channeling. If you can't find the center of you, you can never be taught anything. You're just going to be here till you die, and then you're going to go wherever. And, you know, there, don't worry about hell. It's not like all that. I know if you listen to what Jesus said, which turns out in my life, I decided that that dude had something going. I don't know what exactly, but he knew some shit. And if you just study only what he said, it really is just a way to here's how you live, here's how you succeed, here's how you have happiness and joy in your life. Here's the way to avoid the pains and the bullshit that comes when you get arrested and go to prison. When you go to rehab and you're so strung out you can't even freaking know your name. Or you're so drunk you can't stand and you're pissing yourself. Okay, these are those things. And why we do those, I don't know. I really don't. I did them. I did them. And I don't even know why. My parents used to ask me that when I was a little boy. Why'd you do that? I don't know. I just do. It's crazy. Maybe maybe I'm totally got a. Maybe I probably do. I do have a screw loose. I'm sure, a couple of them, and probably a loose gear somewhere, and no brakes at all. My brakes off of my bike are gone. They were gone when I was born. I didn't ever have brakes. I don't know when to stop. Keep going. And I'm still lit. Thank God for that attitude in some ways, because keep going is what got me alive. Kept me alive through drug addictions and prisons and homelessness and all the shit part of life that I got to go see. Then most of you will never be dumb enough to get so fucked up that you end up being homeless or that you end up in prison, even worse. And homeless is economic. Prison's just bad behavior, dude. So much bad behavior that society, the whole group of people that you come from, feel that you're better off in a 6x8 cell with a locking door and a little slit in it so they can slide food into you. That's how fucked up you made it. You scare people. And I don't want to scare people anymore. I'm not trying to. Somehow, I don't know. Somehow I do. I think I generate an aura that scares people because I'm at peace. I saw a movie Shawshank Redemption years ago, and Morgan Freeman in the movie says about Andy Dufresne. He says Andy Dufresne was like a man in a park, walking through the prison yard on a slow on a slow Sunday stroll. And I thought, you know what? That's how I'm going to do it. And that was when I went to prison. I just decided to be calm, to not get involved in all the stuff that's going on around me because it really isn't going to be affect. It doesn't. In the long run, in the stretch of life and death and history and eternity, it's not going to matter. All these little things that have been thrown at you all your life, little pieces, man, I consider them little blocks in the mind, that they block stuff and they keep you from finding peace and finding happiness. That's all I want. I think what I have in common with most people is even the worst, hardest men and women I've ever dealt with want peace and love. They want to be appreciated. They want to be remembered. They've kind of gone about it in a wrong direction, but they don't want anything more than that. Just like a person that's got the right idea but wants the same things, and they go out and they succeed. They become great athletes or great speakers or great writers or whatever it may be. But they get their attention through positive aspects. And then we get the other side that they're getting their attention through the negative aspects. And we really got to stop, guys, as a group, as friends to people. I've been telling you about my friend John. John's a fully transitioned dude who really doesn't know that it was the best idea now. I couldn't imagine, dude. I'm not cutting that thing off for shit. No way. I couldn't imagine that, but he did. He went for it. Holy shit. He had a crazy thought one day and thought I'm a girl. And you know what's weird about that, dude? See, that's as simple as people want to make it. Since I've taken time to talk to this man and get to know him, or he's cool with that because I fuck it up. I don't know if it's a guy, a girl, I tell him, he says John, Joanne, Jody. How about I just call you Jay? Because I'm too stupid to remember all that other bullshit. And if you're standing in front of me and look like a guy, I'm going to call you a guy. And I call everyone dude. So don't get it twisted. Chicks that get it all twisted. They used to make me laugh in high school because I'd call girls dude and they go, oh, I'm not a dude. I go, you're my friend. You're a dude. That's it. Because I don't want names. I don't need names. Names are they're not even real anyway. They're made up for here. Your real names, you don't even know. You don't even know. They could be calling your real name and you wouldn't know they were calling you because you don't know that's your name. This is a name that was given to you by two earthlings that made you. Cool, huh? So this isn't even your real name. So if you don't like your name, good news. It's not your real name. I unfortunately do like my name. I hated it as a kid because being different as a kid was a problem. But as an adult, I love it. Because everybody knows who Destry is, and I'm him. So cool. No sweat. But anyway, oh, there's so much going on. I mean, geez, I'm getting to the point where I think I'm just gonna sell off my television and delete all my news and just live ignorantly and deal with what's in front of me each day. As my feet take one step at a time through this journey of life, all I got to do is make sure I don't trip. Now, I could be a friend and look at somebody and say, hey, you're going to trip over that. And hopefully they won't. Oh, thanks, friend, for helping me not trip over that. But you can't tell anyone else and you can't run their path because the problem is mostly in this country right now is everybody wants to run everybody else's path. No one's happy being their path. And I'm sorry, maybe I talk from a really fucked up position because when I tell you, yeah, I grew up in Southern California in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s in America. Pretty bitching. Nothing that was bad. A bad day was because mom said we had to leave the beach an hour early. Or the bad day was we had to go to church. That was my bad day. Which, funny thinking, as a kid, I'm rebelling against going to church and shit because I'm saying, I want to go surfing with my friends. It's my only chance. I get to go surfing with my friends. They don't have to go to church. Why do I? Funny shit, dude. I surf 6 other days a week with my friends. I don't know why that seventh day was just such an important day. And the funny thing is, my parents are pretty cool about that because most Mormons won't let their kids play on Sunday. But my parents, after church, we go out and play and go to the beach and shit. We weren't allowed in the water. That was a weird rule. Something about Satan owns the water, which is ironic because that's my life. That's where I live. So I hope that doesn't say anything because I love the water. But yeah. So what kind of dumbass rebellion is that? What kind of pointless upsetting the household that I did as a child for nothing? For nothing. Because I had a feeling, an emotion. Keeping in mind that emotions are what we're supposed to be here to learn about. How can you have a body and be spiritual in an eternal perspective as a celestial being, a higher being? It's just what it means, man. It means getting to the higher being, right? Kids are little kids. They're beautiful and wonderful, but they suck. They shit on themselves. They pee on themselves. They spill their food everywhere. They make a mess in every place you go. You have to you're embarrassed by them half the time because they're acting up. What the hell? But they grow and they become people and they become parents themselves. That's my greatest revenge. I always told my kids, I hope when you grow up, you have a kid just like you. I did that to them. And I laugh every time they tell me a problem that their kid's just like them. My daughter's probably sick of it because I tell her every time she talks to me, my son just won't listen to a thing I say. Sounds just like his mother who didn't listen to a thing anyone else said. So why he's offspring to you? What makes you think he's going to be different? Why does he got to be different than you? You didn't fucking listen to a thing. So what the hell, man? Anyway, so this is my testimony without all the stories. And so you understand who I am. I do believe there's a God. I do believe in him. I've been researching and studying and praying all my life. I think the answers to my prayers were when I was in a coma. And I got to walk and see from a different perspective this whole thing. Who we are, what we're doing here, what's going on around you that you don't even see because you live in a third dimension. There's 4 or 5, 6 dimensions here, dude. There's multiple things happening around you simultaneously. Just to give you a little weird example, dig under an old community. You're going to find a whole community buried that used to be. You used to have people thriving and laughing and enjoying their lives there, and now it's just a pile of dirt. That's what it's going to be like. This is not the most important thing. This is a thing that you have to do. While you're here, let's find out ways to be happy. I'm not saying go to church. I'm not a big church dude. I don't like the the fake friendliness. Like, oh, we're glad you're here. But they don't bring you in. They don't love you. They don't give you shit. Just, oh, we're glad you're here. Another one like us. I guess. It's like I said, it's cool to do what you got to do to feel the way you need to feel. But at the same time, there's some realities we all got to face. And the things that I know are for sure that this thing is changing. We are in the middle of growth pains. We're going to feel it. The human beings are being finalized and refined now. There's two sides of this deal. Two sides. So one side, you just got to choose your side. That's the thing. And I never understood free choice. I thought free choice means I get to smoke a damn cigarette if I want to. It has nothing to do with free choice. Free choice is it's your free choice to choose which side you're going to be on. You know, you're going to be on the green side, or you're going to be on the purple side. Which is your color? I don't know. You choose. But you have to do the research, the development, the prayers, the things that it's going to take for you to find out through all this noise. There's so much noise around us all the time. Just street noise is insane. But you got to choose. You got to choose which side you're going with. And they're even trying to confuse that now. So all I'm going to mention to this and about that subject, get down on your knees and ask your God with a pure and clean heart, in quiet, and then listen. Don't just say what you got to say and walk away. That's not a conversation. It's not how you conversate. I know a lot of people don't know how to conversate. They suck at it. But the bottom line is you have to listen twice as much as you speak when you're having a conversation. And listen intently. Understand what was just said to you. I was never good at that. I didn't listen. I listened, but I never heard. And that's the difference, man. You got to hear. Listen, you'll hear. It might not happen the first day. It might not happen the second day. It might take you a year to find that. But if you truly seek it, it'll become the foundation of everything you are. And once you have that as a foundation, dude, you can build your life on a rock. Don't build your house on the sand, even though somewhere in the world they're trying to build a house on sand right now. Anyway, YouTube drives me crazy. I got so much information go through my head from flipping 3.5-minute segments. But yeah, that's why I got to start cutting these off because I think about it. How can you have someone to spend 45 minutes with you? Who the hell are you? I'm nobody important. I'm nobody special. I'm just a confused motherfucking human that had some really insane spiritually based experiences, some post-life experiences, some answers to questions that I've been praying about my whole life. It took him 61 years to answer my prayer, bro. So I don't expect you to get it answered tomorrow. And if you do, fuck off. Don't want to hear about it. I'm kidding. I want everybody to do well. I want you to have the best. But I want you to understand, I'm not the preacher man. I'm not Joel Olston, dude. I don't want your money. I don't want your collection plate. Poor dude's losing his church. Why? Because people are making a decision. Guess what? He ain't even in the decisions process. They're out. Those preachers that are getting rich, they're telling you, oh, it's justified. God wants us to live well. Yeah, but God doesn't give a shit about material things. He wants you to live well inside. He wants you to be a bright star that you are. We all come from the stars, dude. That's why we're all different. Some stars were brighter, some were dimmer, some were flashy, some weren't, We all come from different places, through different people, through different means. Just dig into your life and get serious about it, man. I'm telling you, it's time. You're running out of time. And I'm not biblical and I'm not religious, but if you need reference points to what I'm saying, study the Bible. It's here. And don't look at Revelations. Read Daniel. Daniel's much more helpful. And follow Jesus. Jesus is very, very clear if you're in your spiritual mode. You got to be in your spiritual mode. Parables don't work if you're not in tune with what's being said. Okay? Of the heart and the reason why they would say such a thing. I had problems with that one too. And trust me, I'm not onto something here. I'm not. There's a fervor in the air, dude. Anybody that has any spirituality in their life, and thank God I may not have religion in my life, but I always kept spirituality in the center of my life. I didn't try to harm anybody intentionally. Of course, I've told you before, people got hurt because of the way I acted, but it wasn't intentional for that to happen. So I'm not justifying myself, but I am saying, let's look around the world, what's happening. Wake up a little bit. Don't panic. There's no panics. Just read it and know. So it's just happening. They're not bothering you. You know, like 50% of America isn't tripping out on any of this stuff. because they've studied the Bible and they know. They know what's happening. This isn't surprising. This isn't, wow, look what's going on in the world. Oh, it's all finally going to happen. I was told when I was a little boy, you're going to see the end times. And guess what? We're in the end times, dude. We're in the end times. Only thing in our lives, though, we're always pushed is telling us later, later, later. Nah, it's now. You're in eternity. You're living in eternity. I can't say that enough. End times are going to come and go, no matter what you do or say or think or feel. The Lord is not worried about you. Not like that. He's got a plan. His plan's going to be executed to perfection. You can jump on board, or you can say, "Fuck it, I'm going to take a chance that it's all bullshit." I'll tell you what. As a gambling man who likes to gamble, I'm going to place my bets. I'm going to hedge my bets. Okay, because I'm going to go ahead and do the godly right things, the spiritually right things about you. And good spirits and bad spirits, you can feel them. My dog can feel them. I'm telling you, they're all around you. Get a little dog and walk with him. See who he barks at. Unless he's just one of those barky random dogs. My dog's not like that. He's very particular about who he interacts with. But anyway, so that's all I wanted to say, man. I need to just get back on this thing, kick myself in the ass. I'm trying to keep it down to 22 minutes because I do feel like 44 minutes is just too much, man. That's like going to church. That's a long time. If I can hold your attention for 22 minutes and give you a little spiritual uplift and let you know you're okay, just the way you are. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing out of place in you. You're fine. God made you and he didn't make junk. Now you might have some challenges. Don't get it twisted. We all got challenges. As you walk the road of life, you're going to have challenges, but if you just keep walking, keep your head up, you're going to be fine. I love you guys. I want nothing but the best for the world. I want nothing but the best for all of you, every single one of you. Please, I pray for you and pray for me too. People on the street want to pray for me. I'm more than happy. So I love you guys. Peace out.